John Singer Sargent had a problem. In 1880, he wasn't yet the celebrated artist we know today. No, he was just a young painter known within artistic circles for his technical skill, but the broader public had no idea who he was. He needed to do something to get himself noticed, and that's exactly what he did. Sargent spent 5 months travelling through Spain, and in the gritty Andalusian taverns found what he was looking for. Out of that came El Jaleo. Today, you'll find out how its controversial reception marked a turning point which transformed Sargent from a promising young talent into a celebrated and somewhat contentious figure in the European art scene. Born in 1865 to American parents and raised in Europe, Sargent trained in Paris under Carolus Duran, who urged students to ceaselessly study Velázquez. At the time, French artists were captivated by Spanish arts and culture, Monet among them. So, after refining his skills, Sargent set off for a Spanish adventure of his own. In 1879, the 23-year-old Sargent travelled Spain, and in the Museo del Prado, he copied works by Velázquez and Goya. But it was in the Andalusian lively cafés that he discovered flamenco. In smoky taverns, sketchbook in hand, he was captivated by the raw, improvised mix of song, dance and guitar, an art form rooted in Romany tradition. As an amateur musician himself, Sargent was enthralled. It was passionate, gritty, and perfect for painting. Inspired by the theatrical flair of Romany dance, he set out to create a dramatic, unforgettable painting on a massive 12-foot wide canvas. El Jaleo, even the name evokes commotion. In Spanish, Jaleo means fuss or ruckus. Painted in 1882, it captures a flamenco dancer mid-performance. One of the first things you'll notice is the lighting. Sargent uses bold footlights from below, casting dramatic shadows, creating a theatrical high-contrast scene. The dancer's chin, arm and skirt glow against the surrounding darkness. Behind her, a huge shadow looms on the wall, mimicking her form in eerie silhouette. Unlike the soft blending favoured by academic painters, Sargent lets the lights shine bright and the dark stay deep, like a spotlight capturing a fleeting moment in vivid motion. Look past the dancer and the scene unfolds. Along the back wall, musicians and spectators are absorbed in the moment. On the left, guitarists in black play with heads down, and a man claps the traditional palmas. To the right, others join in, clapping or raising their arms in excitement. Their shadowy forms fade into the background. Sargent kept them loose and dim, so nothing distracts from the dancer. The nearly monochrome palette of blacks and greys and whites is broken only by a few vivid details. On a chair there's an orange, or is it an apple? And red splashes on tops and jackets, and even on the word Ole and handprints scrawled on the wall. These bursts of colour echo the energy and soulful passion that fills the room. El Jaleo broke from the polished Paris Salon style of its time. Sargent's brushwork is swift and loose. Seated figures are mere smudges, their faces obscured under wide-brimmed hats. Yet nothing feels careless. Up close, it's a flurry of strokes. From a distance, a vivid scene of light and motion emerges. Whilst not an impressionist, Sargent blended Velázquez-inspired tonalism with spontaneous energy. The dancer's swirling skirts and tense, outstretched arms are captured with striking immediacy. Every detail, from her snapping fingers to the shimmer of her shawl, immerses us in the moment, as if we were right there, hearing the guitars and applause echo the room. With El Jaleo, Sargent paid tribute to a culture his audience saw as exotic and untamed. This wasn't a refined ballet. This was a raw, Romany tavern dance, bursting with life. Theatrical by design, the massive canvas feels like a stage, with near life-size figures pulling viewers into the scene. From dramatic lighting to loose brushwork and a muted palette punctuated by bold accents, every choice was a bold break from convention. Sargent took a risk, and it paid off. And if you'd like to bring that theatrical flair into your home, you can own a copy for yourself. We have this and hundreds of others available in our store, artloveart.com. Every piece you buy helps us to continue making intriguing videos like this one. Thank you. When El Jaleo debuted at the 1882 Paris Salon, it caused the stir Sargent had hoped for. The painting made Sargent the most talked about painter in Paris. Crowds gathered, opinions flew. Some were captivated. Le Figaro called it one of the most original and strongest works in the show. Critics praised its daring break from academic norms, with some even comparing Sargent to the avant-garde Impressionists. Bold, clever, and unforgettable, El Jaleo stole the spotlight. But not everyone was impressed. El Jaleo's bold style and subject matter ruffled feathers among the more conservative critics, who thought it sloppy or unfinished. One even called it slovenly, with wretched drawing. Others saw it as a youthful indulgence, too far removed from the polished classical themes they preferred. The painting's raw sensuality, deep shadows, and blurred figures felt excessive to some. And the subject? A Romani flamenco dancer in mid-performance challenged Victorian norms. To those used to mythological scenes and noble portraits, Sargent's vivid portrayal of passionate, exotic women felt provocative. He blurred the line between high art and bohemian spectacle, and not everybody was ready for it. Controversial or not, El Jaleo was Sargent's breakthrough, the painting that launched him into international fame and a touch of infamy. So, what do you think? Does El Jaleo capture the soul of flamenco and deserve its fame? Or were the critics right to call it slovenly with wretched drawing? Let's discuss it in the comments. And if you enjoyed discovering why John Singer Sargent painted El Jaleo, then you'll love our other Art Love Art stories. Check this one out. I think you'll love it. I'll see you over there.